Lyra stared out at the stars, her heart heavy with sadness. She had once belonged to a world where she was celebrated for her beauty and brilliance. As an elite member of Zathura, Lyra had everything she could wish for: friends, family, and a future filled with promise. But all of that had changed in an instant. A scandal involving her family had led to her exile. Now she was alone on a distant planet called Earth, a place so different from her own. The vibrant colors of Zathura were replaced by the muted tones of this strange world. Lyra had crash-landed in a forest, surrounded by towering trees and unfamiliar sounds. She felt lost and abandoned, a beautiful alien in a world that didn't understand her. As days turned into weeks, she struggled to survive, scavenging for food and trying to adapt to her new environment. One day, while wandering through the woods, she stumbled upon a small village. Her heart raced as she saw humans going about their daily lives. They seemed so different, simple and warm, yet she felt invisible among them. Fear gripped her as she realized she had no way to communicate her true self. Then she met Jack. He was a kind-hearted man with a gentle smile and a curious spirit. One afternoon, while exploring near the edge of the village, he found her. His eyes widened in surprise at the sight of her alien beauty, but instead of fear, he showed compassion. "Are you okay?" he asked softly. Lyra felt a flicker of hope. Maybe this human could help her. I need help," she said, her voice shaky. "I was abandoned, and I don't know how to survive here." Jack looked at her with concern. "You don't have to be alone. Come with me." Lyra hesitated. "I can't ask for much. I can help you. Maybe you can accept me as a servant?" She thought this would make her more acceptable to him, but deep down, she felt a pang of sadness. She didn't want to be a slave, she wanted to be a friend. Jack paused, his brow furrowing. "I don't want you to serve me. I want to help you as a friend." Lyra's heart soared. She had never thought of friendship as a possibility. She agreed to go with him, and together they walked to his home. Jack showed her kindness, teaching her about Earth and its people. He introduced her to new foods and customs, and for the first time she felt a sense of belonging. As the days passed, Lyra grew closer to Jack. They spent time talking and laughing, and she learned to appreciate the beauty of human connection. Yet, in the back of her mind, the memory of Zathura lingered. She missed her home, her family, and the life she had lost. One evening, as they sat on the porch watching the stars, Lyra felt a wave of sadness wash over her. "Do you ever feel distant from someone you care about?" she asked quietly. Jack looked at her thoughtfully. "Yeah, I do sometimes. People move away, and it can be really hard." Lyra nodded, her heart aching. "I feel so far from my home. I want to reconnect with them, but I don't know how." Jack placed a comforting hand on her shoulder. "Maybe you just need to reach out. There's always a way to connect, even if it seems impossible." His words inspired her. If she could find a way to communicate with her family, maybe she could bridge the distance. But how? She decided to explore the village for clues about technology that could help her reach Zathura. Turned into weeks as Lyra learned about Earth's technology. She discovered that humans used devices called radios and phones to communicate across long distances. Excitement bubbled within her. If she could find a way to send a message, perhaps she could reconnect with her family. With Jack's help, they searched for a way to build a device that could send a signal into space. They collected materials from the village, working tirelessly in Jack's backyard. The project became a shared dream, bringing them even closer together. One night, as they sat under the stars, Lyra turned to Jack. "Do you think they'll hear me?" she asked, her voice trembling with hope. Jack smiled reassuringly. "If anyone can make it work, it's you." "You're amazing, Lyra." With renewed determination, They finished the device. Lyra hesitated before pressing the button. What if they don't want to hear from me? What if they've forgotten me? Jack looked deep into her eyes. They could never forget someone as special as you. You have to believe that. Taking a deep breath, Lyra pressed the button. A soft hum filled the air, and she sent her message into the vastness of space. I'm here. I miss you. I want to come home. Days passed with no response, and doubt began to creep back into her heart. But Jack remained by her side, encouraging her to keep hoping. Sometimes it takes time, he said gently. Don't give up. Just when Lyra was about to lose hope, a strange sound came from the device. One evening, her heart raced as she rushed to it. A voice crackled through, faint but familiar. Lyra, is that you? Tears of joy filled her eyes. It was her mother. I'm here. She cried out, her heart bursting with emotion. They spoke for hours, sharing stories and laughter across the stars. Lyra felt the distance between them fade away. After the call, she turned to Jack, her heart full. I did it. I reconnected with my family. Jack beamed with pride. I knew you could. You're not just a beautiful alien. You're strong and brave. Lyra smiled, realizing that she had found more than just a way to reach her family. She had discovered the power of hope and the strength of friendship. As the days passed, Lyra decided to stay on Earth, not as a slave or a servant, but as a friend. She had been rejected and abandoned, but now she felt accepted and loved. With Jack by her side, she knew she could face any challenge, and her heart was no longer distant from the people she cared about. In this new world, Lyra found a place where she belonged, proving that even in the depths of despair, hope could shine brightly, leading her to a future filled with possibility and connection. After reconnecting with her family, Lyra felt a sense of joy she hadn't experienced in a long time. However, even with this happiness, a new kind of sadness began to creep into her heart. She loved her family and was grateful for the communication they had, but she also felt a growing distance between herself and Jack. Jack had been her anchor on this strange planet, guiding her through the complexities of human life. He had helped her find hope when she felt lost, and now, as she embraced her identity as a part of Earth, she worried that their bond might fade. She loved the time they spent together, but she feared that their friendship would change now that she was reconnecting with her past. Every day, they would meet in the garden behind Jack's house, working on their projects and sharing stories. But lately, Lyra noticed Jack seemed distracted. He would often gaze off into the distance, and his smiles didn't reach his eyes as they once did. Lyra felt the pang of worry. Was he feeling distant from her too? One evening, as they sat on the porch watching the sunset, Lyra decided to speak up. Jack, are you okay? You seem different lately. Jack turned to her, his expression softening. I'm fine, Lyra. Just thinking about things. Things? Like what? She pressed gently, wanting to understand. He sighed, looking out at the horizon. I guess I've been thinking about how your life is going to change now that you've reconnected with your family. You have a whole other world waiting for you. I don't want to lose you. Lyra's heart sank. You won't lose me, Jack. I want you to be part of my life, no matter where I go. You've helped me so much. I know, but what if you decide to go back to Zathura? I can't compete with that. His voice was filled with sadness, and it made her heart ache. Lyra took a deep breath, feeling a surge of determination. She couldn't let fear come between them. You mean so much to me, Jack. I don't want to go back to Zathura. I want to stay here with you. I've found something special in this friendship. Jack looked at her, his eyes hopeful yet uncertain. But what if your family needs you? You have responsibilities there. I can't ignore my past, but I also can't ignore the present. You've shown me what it means to belong, Jack. I want to explore this new life together." His expression softened, and she could see the warmth returning to his eyes. "You really mean that?" "Yes," she replied firmly. "You're my friend, and I want us to stay connected. We can face whatever comes next together." Jack smiled, and for the first time in days, Lyra felt a weight lift off her shoulders. They spent the rest of the evening talking, sharing dreams, and making plans for the future. They decided to build a project together, a small device that could bridge the gap between Zathura and Earth, allowing Lyra to communicate more easily with her family while also staying connected to Jack Dot. As they worked side by side, Lyra's heart swelled with hope. She was grateful for the bond they shared, and she wanted to nurture it. They spent long hours in the yard, combining their knowledge. Lyra used her understanding of technology from Zathura, while Jack contributed his own creativity and problem-solving skills. One afternoon, they finished the device, a small, compact communicator that could send messages across galaxies. Lyra beamed with pride. "Now I can keep in touch with my family and still be here with you." Jack grinned, his excitement infectious. "Let's test it out. Who do you want to contact first?" "Let's reach out to my mother again. I want to tell her about our project and how much I appreciate everything you've done for me." They activated the device, and Lyra spoke into it, her voice filled with emotion. "Mother, it's me, Lyra. I've been working on a new project with my friend Jack. I want to share my life here with you." As they waited for a response, Lyra felt a mix of anticipation and anxiety. Would her mother understand how? As the weeks went by, Lyra and Jack grew closer, sharing experiences and learning about each other's worlds. However, despite their strong bond, Lyra still felt a lingering sadness. She had reconnected with her family on Zathura and created a new life on Earth, but there was a nagging feeling that she wasn't doing enough to balance both worlds. One afternoon, as they worked on their communication device in Jack's backyard, Lyra's mind wandered. She thought about her mother's words, encouraging her to share her heart with those who cared for her. But how could she express everything she felt? She wanted to show Jack just how much he meant to her, but fear held her back. "Jack," she said suddenly, breaking the silence, "do you ever feel like you're losing touch with someone important?" He looked over at her, his brow furrowed in thought. "Yeah, sometimes, especially when people move away. It can be hard to keep the connection alive." Lyra nodded, her heart heavy. "I feel that way too. I want to be there for my family, but I also want to be here with you." Jack put down his tools and turned to face her. "Lyra, it's okay to feel that way. You're trying to find a balance, and that's not easy. Just remember that distance doesn't have to mean losing someone." His words resonated with her, but they also sparked a new concern. "What if I go back to Zathura and lose you in the process? What if I forget how to connect with you?" Jack smiled gently. "You won't forget. You've already created a strong bond here. Just keep being yourself. Communication is key, right?" Lyra took a deep breath, feeling a surge of determination. "You're right. I need to find ways to stay connected with both my worlds." That evening, Lyra decided to send a message to her mother using their device. She wanted to share her feelings and ask for advice. As she spoke into the communicator, she poured her heart out. "Mother, I've been feeling distant from Jack. I'm scared that my life on Zathura will pull me away from him. How do I keep both connections strong?" After sending the message, she felt a sense of relief. It was a step toward finding clarity. Later that night, as she and Jack sat on the porch under the twinkling stars, she decided to open up. "Jack, I sent a message to my mother asking for advice on how to balance my life here and my family back home. I want to be close to both, "But I don't know how to make it work," she said, her voice trembling slightly. Jack listened intently, nodding. "That's a great idea. Your mother knows you well and might have good advice. Just remember, it's okay to seek help when you need it." The next day, as they walked through the village, Lyra felt more hopeful. She had a plan to keep both connections alive. She wanted to create a monthly tradition where she would share her life with her family and Jack at the same time. "Jack, how about we set up a video call with my family once a month? That way, we can all stay connected," she suggested excitedly. Jack's eyes lit up. "I love that. It'll be a great way for everyone to see each other and share stories." As they returned to Jack's house, Lyra felt a sense of purpose. She wanted to make this work, not just for herself, but for Jack and her family too. They spent the next few days preparing for the first video call, setting up the device in a cozy spot in the backyard. When the day finally arrived, Lyra's heart raced with excitement and nerves. She dressed in her best clothes, wanting to make a good impression on her family. Jack stood by her side, offering encouragement. "You've got this, Lyra. Just be yourself." As they connected the device and waited for her family to join, Lyra felt a mix of emotions. Would her family understand her new life? Would they accept Jack? Finally, the screen flickered to life, and her mother's smiling face appeared. "Lyra! It's so good to see you," she exclaimed, her eyes shining with love. Lyra's heart swelled with joy. "Mother, I'm so happy to see you. I want you to meet someone special to me." She gestured to Jack, who waved shyly at the screen. "This is Jack. He's been my friend and has helped me so much here on Earth." "Hello, Jack," her mother said warmly. "It's wonderful to meet you. Lyra has told me so much about you." Jack smiled, clearly relieved. "It's great to meet you too, Mom. I'm grateful for everything Lyra has shared with me about Zathura." As the conversation flowed, Lyra felt the distance between her worlds begin to shrink. They laughed, shared stories, and celebrated their differences. Jack spoke about Earth's customs, while Lyra shared tales of Zathura's beauty. It felt like they were all sitting together, despite the miles between them. After the call ended, Lyra turned to Jack, her eyes shining with happiness. "That went so well. I feel so connected now." Jack smiled back, his expression filled with warmth. "I'm glad, Lyra. You did amazing. It's great to see how much you care about both your family and your life here." In the days that followed, Lyra felt more at peace. The monthly calls became a cherished tradition. They created a bridge between her old life and her new one, allowing her to share her experiences with both Jack and her family. One evening, as they were working on a new project together, Lyra turned to Jack with gratitude in her heart. "Thank you for being there for me, Jack. You've made this transition so much easier." Jack looked at her, his eyes sincere. "You're special, Lyra. You belong in both worlds. It's about finding a way to connect, and you've done that beautifully." Lyra felt a rush of warmth. She realized that she didn't have to choose between her family and Jack. With love and effort, she could nurture both relationships. The distance that once felt so daunting now seemed manageable as they continued to build their dreams together. Lyra knew she had found a true friend on Earth. She understood that love could bridge any gap, connecting hearts across galaxies. With Jack by her side, she felt hopeful about the future, ready to embrace whatever adventures lay ahead. Lyra had once felt rejected and abandoned, but now understood that connection was a choice. With hope in her heart, she knew that her journey was just beginning, and she was grateful to have Jack with her every step of the way. Lyra's heart felt lighter as she adjusted to her new life on Earth. The monthly video calls with her family in Zathura brought her joy and comfort, but as time went on, she couldn't shake the feeling that something was still missing. She cherished her friendship with Jack, Yet she often found herself thinking about how to deepen that bond. One afternoon, as they worked on their latest project in Jack's backyard, she noticed him looking unusually quiet. He was focused on assembling a new device they had designed together, but his mind seemed elsewhere. "Jack, is everything okay?" Lyra asked, concerned. He looked up, his expression thoughtful. "Yeah, I'm fine. Just thinking about some things." "What things?" She pressed gently, sensing that he was holding back. Jack sighed and put down his tools. "I've been thinking about my own family. I've been so focused on helping you, I haven't checked in with them in a while. I guess I feel a little distant from them, too." Lyra's heart ached for him. "I understand. I felt that way when I first came here. It's hard when the people you care about are far away." He nodded. "Exactly. I want to reconnect with them, but I don't know how to start." Lyra thought for a moment. "What if we set up a video call with your family? Just like we do with mine. It could be a good way for you to reach out." Jack's eyes lit up. "That's a great idea. I'd love that. I just hope they're okay with me reaching out after all this time." "They will be," Lyra reassured him. "Families care about each other, no matter the distance. You just have to take the first step." Feeling encouraged, they began to prepare for the call. Jack showed Lyra pictures of his family, sharing stories about each member. He spoke of his younger sister Mia, who loved art, and his father, who was a skilled carpenter. Lyra could see the love in Jack's eyes as he talked about them, and it made her feel even more connected to him. On the day of the call, Lyra watched as Jack nervously adjusted the device they had built. "I'm really glad you're here with Lyra. I wouldn't want to do this alone," he admitted. "You're not alone, Jack. I'm right here," she said, giving him an encouraging smile dot as they connected the device. Jack's heart raced with anticipation. When the screen lit up, his family's faces appeared, and Lyra could see the surprise and joy in their expressions. "Jack, is that really you?" his mother exclaimed, her eyes widening with happiness. "Hi, Mom. It's so good to see you," Jack replied, a broad smile spreading across his face. Mia, Jack's sister, jumped into the frame, waving excitedly. "Jack, we missed you. Who's that next to you?" "This is my friend Lyra. She's been helping me a lot," Jack said, introducing her. "Hello, Lyra," Mia said, her voice cheerful. "I've heard so much about you." Lyra felt a warm rush of happiness. "It's great to meet you all. Jack has told me wonderful things about you." They spent the next hour sharing stories and laughter. Jack's family wanted to know all about Lyra and her life on Earth. She shared her experiences, from the simple joys of exploring the village to the challenges of adapting to a new culture. Jack chimed in, adding details and encouraging her dot. As the call continued, Lyra noticed Jack relaxing, his laughter becoming more genuine. He clearly missed his family, and it felt good to see him reconnecting with them. It reminded her of her own journey of reconnection and the importance of keeping those bonds strong. When the call ended, Jack looked relieved and happy. "Thank you for encouraging me to do that, Lyra. I really needed it. I'm glad it went well." "You have a great family," she replied, feeling proud. As the seasons changed on Earth, Lyra felt her heart grow warmer with each passing day. The monthly family calls had become a cherished tradition, bringing her joy and a sense of belonging. However, she still felt a twinge of sadness as she thought about her family back on Zathra. She missed them deeply and often wondered how she could bridge the gap between her two worlds in a more meaningful way. One sunny afternoon, while walking with Jack through the village, Lyra noticed a poster advertising a cultural fair. It featured booths from different countries, celebrating traditions through food, music, and art. The fair would be held in a few weeks, and Lyra's heart raced with excitement. This could be the perfect opportunity to share her culture with Jack's family and the people of Earth. "Jack, look at this," she exclaimed, pointing to the poster. "We should participate in the fair." Jack's eyes lit up. "That sounds amazing. What do you want to showcase?" "I want to share Zathra's traditions, our food, music, and stories. It would be a wonderful way to bring our worlds together," Lyra replied, her enthusiasm bubbling over. "That's a fantastic idea," Jack said, already brainstorming. "We can set up a booth, and I can help you with anything you need. We could even do a live demonstration of how to make one of your dishes." Lyra's heart swelled with hope. "Yes, I want to make a traditional dish called Zathran Delight. It's a favorite back home. I can teach everyone how to prepare it." Over the next few weeks, they poured their hearts into the preparations. Lyra taught Jack about the ingredients and techniques used in Zathran cooking. They visited local markets to find the right spices and vegetables, and Lyra even practiced her cooking skills with Jack by her side as they worked together. Lyra felt a strong connection with Jack. He was patient and attentive, always eager to learn and help. She realized that he was not just her friend. He had become a vital part of her new life. One evening, as they prepared for the fair, Lyra turned to Jack, her voice serious. "Jack, I want this to be special. I want to show everyone how beautiful Zathra is and how much my family means to me." Jack smiled warmly. "You're doing a great job, Lyra. This fair will be a wonderful opportunity to share your culture and connect with everyone." The day of the fair arrived, and the village was buzzing with excitement. Colorful tents filled the park, and the air was filled with the scent of delicious food and the sounds of laughter. Lyra felt a mix of nerves and excitement as she set up their booth. When it was finally time for their demonstration, she took a deep breath and smiled at the growing crowd. "Hello, everyone. My name is Lyra, and I'm from Zathra. Today, I'm excited to share one of my favorite dishes with you, called Zathran Delight." The crowd clapped, and Lyra felt her nerves begin to fade. She started explaining the ingredients and the cultural significance of the dish. Jack stood beside her, helping to demonstrate the cooking techniques. As they worked together, they laughed and shared stories, creating a warm and inviting atmosphere. People were curious and engaged, asking questions and offering their own stories. Lyra felt a sense of belonging as she shared her culture with them. She realized that despite her fears, she was connecting not only with Jack, but also with the community around her. As the dish cooked, the delicious aroma wafted through the air, drawing more people to their booth. When it was finally ready, Lyra served samples to everyone. The smiles on their faces filled her heart with joy. "This is amazing," one woman exclaimed, savoring the flavors. "I've never tasted anything like it." Lyra beamed with pride. She felt like a bridge between two worlds, and in that moment, the distance she had once felt began to dissolve. After the demonstration, Lyra and Jack took a break to enjoy the fair. They walked around, visiting other booths and trying different foods. Lyra loved seeing the excitement in Jack's eyes as he experienced new things. It reminded her of how much she enjoyed sharing her life with him. Later in the day, as they sat on a bench, Jack turned to her, his eyes shining. "You did an incredible job today, Lyra. I'm so proud of you." "Thank you, Jack. I couldn't have done it without you." "You've been my biggest supporter," she replied, feeling grateful. Jack smiled warmly. "We're a team. I'm really happy to be part of this journey with you." As the sun began to set, the fair transitioned into an evening celebration filled with music and dance. Lyra felt her heart race with excitement at the idea of sharing Zathran music. "Let's share one of our songs," she suggested. Jack's eyes widened, and he hesitated. Are you sure? I'm not a great dancer. Lyra laughed, her spirit bright. It doesn't matter. Just have fun with it. I'll teach you the steps. With a playful nudge, she led Jack to the center of the gathering. The music began to play, and Lyra felt the rhythm fill her. She showed Jack the movements, and he tried his best to follow. The crowd clapped along, cheering them on. As they danced together, Lyra felt a wave of happiness wash over her. She was surrounded by laughter and joy, and the distance between her and the people of Earth faded away. She realized that she was creating new memories while honoring her past. After their dance, they returned to their booth, breathless and happy. That was so much fun, Jack exclaimed, grinning from ear to ear. I loved every moment. Thank you for being brave and joining me, Lyra replied, feeling grateful for his support. As the fair came to an end, Lyra stood with Jack, watching the stars twinkle above them. I can't believe how wonderful today was. I feel so connected to everyone, she said softly. Jack nodded, his expression serious. You brought everyone together, Lyra. You've shown us the beauty of your culture and the power of connection. You've made a home here. Lyra smiled, her heart full. And I couldn't have done it without you. You've helped me find my place in this world. In that moment, she realized that she didn't have to choose between her family on Zathura and her life on Earth. She could carry both with her, celebrating her roots while embracing her new home. With Jack by her side, she felt ready to face any challenges that lay ahead. The distance that once felt overwhelming had transformed into a bridge of hope, allowing her to connect deeply with those she cared about. As they walked home under the starlit sky, Lyra felt a sense of belonging. She had found a way to unite her two worlds, proving that love and friendship could conquer any distance. With hope in her heart, she knew that her journey was just beginning, and she was excited to see where it would lead her next. As the months passed, Lyra felt more at home on Earth. The cultural fair had brought her closer to Jack and the community, and she cherished her monthly video calls with her family on Zathura. However, a feeling of distance began creeping back into her life. It wasn't about her family or Jack. It was about her own identity. One chilly evening, Lyra sat on the porch, staring up at the stars. Each twinkle reminded her of Zathura, the colors of its skies, and the familiar faces of her loved ones. She missed her family deeply, and though she had created a new life here, she couldn't shake the feeling that something was missing. Jack joined her, sensing her mood. What's on your mind, Lyra? He asked, sitting beside her. I've been thinking about my family and my life back on Zathura, she replied, her voice soft. I love being here with you, but sometimes I feel like I'm losing a part of myself. Jack turned to her, concern etched on his face. You're not losing yourself, Lyra. You're growing and adapting, but it's okay to miss home. It's a part of who you are. Tears welled in Lyra's eyes. I just wish I could share more of myself with everyone here. I want to show them the beauty of Zathura, not just in food and dance, but in our stories, our values, and our history. I think that's a wonderful idea, Jack said, his voice encouraging. You could create a storytelling event. Share your culture through stories, your adventures, your family, your traditions. Lyra's heart raced at the thought. That's a fantastic idea. I can invite everyone in the village, and we can do it at the park. I want to show them the heart of Zathura. With renewed energy, Lyra began planning the storytelling event. She spent hours writing down her favorite tales from Zathura, stories of bravery, friendship, and the beauty of her home planet. Jack helped her organize everything, spreading the word to the villagers and encouraging them to come. On the day of the event, the park was filled with excitement. Lyra set up a cozy area with blankets and pillows, creating a welcoming atmosphere. As people began to gather, She felt a mix of nerves and excitement. Would they connect with her stories? Would they understand the essence of her home? When Nisaji? Time came to start. Lyra stood in front of the crowd, her heart pounding. Thank you all for coming today. I'm so happy to share stories from my home, Zathura. These tales are a part of who I am, and I hope they help you understand my journey. As she began telling her first story, she noticed the audience listening intently. They were captivated by her words, leaning in closer as she spoke of the brave heroes of Zathura, who fought for peace and unity. She described the vibrant landscapes, the colorful festivals, and the laughter of her family. With each story, Lyra felt the distance between her and the villagers begin to fade. She could see their smiles, hear their laughter, and feel their connection to her experiences. Jack sat in the front row, beaming with pride. His support gave her strength. After she finished her first story, the crowd erupted in applause. Lyra felt a rush of joy. Thank you.